everybody out there should realize that the median salary for a plumber and pipe fitter is about $63,000, and there's only 1.8% women participation in those trades. So we can do so much better, and there's a huge opportunity. And this stadium construction really got that opportunity going for thousands of women.
Senator Franken, and you'll introduce the secretary.
Well, I'm proud to have the secretary here. He's a secretary that cares about workforce, cares about apprenticeships, earn while you learn kind of jobs, which is a model, I think, for how we're going to fill a lot of or fill the skills gap that we have in this country, and especially with minority and women skilled workers. And this stadium built ahead of schedule and built beautifully, did that in spades, and it was just a great effort. And we went on a tour. I've seen this place a few times. I got to throw the football with the secretary, and that was my big takeaway, other than the great women and minority workers that we met today. And we did exceed the goals that we had, and Mortensen did a great job. Everybody here did a wonderful job. But I want to introduce the secretary. I first got to know him when he was in the Attorney General's office for head of civil rights there. He was great there. He's been a wonderful labor secretary, and he has been a leader on apprenticeships and on workforce training. Mr. Secretary.
Senator, thank you. Thank you for your leadership and partnership on so many things that relate to the basic notion that when we all succeed, we all succeed. And this project is an example of so many win-win solutions. And I want to again commend the governor and the lieutenant governor for their leadership and doggedness. President Obama and Senator Franken, Senator Klobuchar, Governor Dayton all believe that zip code should never determine destiny, and that opportunity should be available for everybody. This project is a vivid illustration of that, because not only have we constructed through a project labor agreement in coordination and collaboration with our union brothers and sisters, a remarkable state-of-the-art facility that will be LEED Silver certified at the end. But we're not only building a building, we're building the middle class. And for me today, there are two stars. This remarkable structure, which will be a cornerstone of development and is a catalyst for further development in this area. That's one star. But for me, the real stars today are the workers that we met. Because when you not only meet but exceed in over 37% minority participation, 8 or 9%, I believe, female participation, that is consistent with the goals and values of this state, which is, again, everybody should have access to opportunity. Apprenticeship is the other college, except without the debt. And what we're seeing today, and the enthusiasm in the body language and voices of all the people that we had the privilege of meeting who worked on this building is remarkable. And that's what I take away from this. We in Minnesota, there's just remarkable opportunity here. 3.8% statewide unemployment, 3.5% here in the Twin Cities area. And behind that figure, though, it masks disparities. And what this project is getting at is that we want to make sure that every person in every zip code of this community has access to those career ladders. And that's what this is about, because this project has completed, but for the apprentices that have been part of this construction, their career pathway is limitless. And that's what's so exciting about being here. And that's why the president has been so engaged in investing and lifting up apprenticeship, not only increasing the numbers, but making sure it's accessible to women and minorities and veterans, and 5% of the folks who worked on this were veterans, and that wasn't part of the obligation, but all the parties involved understood that our veterans here in Minnesota have gained, and we want to make sure that they do this. So this is a touchdown of the remarkable variety. And when you get to throw a football with Senator Franken at midfield, I mean, can't believe I got paid to do that. So, and I dropped it, by the way. He did.
He only dropped one pass, and
It was right in my belly.
yeah, but I threw it. You know, I have that really rocket arm.
Yeah. He will never be confused with Brett Favre or Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. As we talk football, I want to introduce our important partner who's been with us every step of the way, Kevin Warren, who's the Chief Operating Officer for the Minnesota Vikings, and a partner with us on all of this today. Thank you, Kevin. A few words?
It really is a pleasure to be here, and thank you for taking the time and energy to come here today. And I think as far as everyone has said previously, we're proud here as Minnesotans to be able to pull together to show that government and private businesses and big businesses, small businesses, all people regardless of race, color, creed, and background can come together and do something special. This is really a special day. I think it set we don't call it the blueprint, we call it the purple print as far as what can be done in other societies, other locations. This shows that people can work together, and it was just truly a blessing on behalf of the Vikings to work with the governor's office and Tina and Michelle from the authority, everyone involved with this, everyone who really leaned into this project to really make a difference. And to stand here before you to say that we not only met, but we exceeded all the goals on behalf of the women and the minorities and the veterans here to says that it can be done. And I think it reiterated that collaboration is special, that we have given the people the mindset here to pull together and do something special that will be not only an iconic building. Buildings are great, but really what make this project special are the people that not only who participated in the building of it, but who will participate in the operation of it. So we stand here before you today. Our owners were great. The Will family really stepped up. But again, the governor's office, the authority, what Michelle did and Ted Mondale, what they were able to do, and also just Senator Franken, everyone involved with this, we're just so very grateful. And we look forward to the day that we can bring a world championship here to the citizens of the state of Minnesota and come spend a day in the White House. So on behalf of the Vikings, we really thank you for spending the time to come here today. And I just would like to thank all of the constituents involved and everyone involved here. All the people are here. And all you got to do is walk around and look at all the different faces and the backgrounds of people who are here today. We are proud here in Minnesota that we were able to pull this together and do it with style, grace, and elegance. So thank you for coming out today, and thank you for coming from Washington.
We have time for two very quick questions.
Ricardo Lopez here from the Search Group. In terms of hiring goals here for women and minority workers, I mean, the stadium benefited from its downtown location, ease of public transit. I mean, how do you replicate these types of results in other areas that have less transit options or maybe less accessible because of geography?
I mean, we've seen project labor agreements work across the country. And we've seen them work because it's partnership in action, understanding what the opportunities are, but as you correctly point out in your question, what the barriers are. And the workforce system is a very important partner in addressing that. So, for instance, one of the tools in the toolkit of the workforce system are transportation vouchers. So if the next project is in an area that's not as transit accessible, you bake that into the financing and to your whole plan. And we've seen that work elsewhere. And that's why the workforce system can play a very, very important role, because we've been able, childcare is often an issue. If we want to increase female participation, one of the barriers historically to increasing female participation has been childcare. Again, a surmountable barrier. What you have to do is recognize what the barriers are, work collaboratively on them, and when you have partners like the Minnesota Vikings, when you have enlightened leaders like Governor Dayton, and state government here, and then senators like Senator Franken and Senator Klobuchar, and then local leadership, because you can't do this without local leadership as well. This is truly a joint venture. And then your business community here gets it. And frankly, it's a matter of enlightened self-interest, because one of the challenges here, and it's a good challenge, is that you're increasingly having a workforce shortage. And what we're doing here is a win-win opportunity, going into zip codes where opportunity has, frankly, historically been elusive, addressing those barriers and then surmounting them.
This is part of the role of Congress too. If you're talking about, you asked a very good question, which is about what about communities that don't have access to the transportation to get to the workplace. That's about building infrastructure where everyone has transportation to do that. That has been a barrier. That has been a challenge. And we have to recognize that and build that infrastructure. And when you talk about childcare, we need a childcare system, a quality childcare system, where we need to also, as far as workforce is concerned, train high quality childcare workers. That's something that our parents deserve and our children deserve.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.